We have a really cool opportunity right now because we have what I believe to be, a really fantastic speaker, a sheikh, a scholar who is equipped to really take on localized issues within our community here in the United States and abroad. So we're going to actually do a kind of very intimate Q&A session with our dear Sheikh Waleed Basyouni, inshallah. So we have a few already responses here. People are asking, why do we have to wear hijab? By we, I assume they mean women, because men don't have to wear it.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. There is a very beautiful verse we can use, and you can use yourself, which is كَذَلِكَ قَالَ رَبُّكَ. That's what your Lord said. When Ibrahim alayhi salam asked, how come I will have a child? I'm old. The answer was, كَذَلِكَ قَالَ رَبُّكَ. That's what your Lord said. And that's the answer given to Ibrahim and his wife when they've been told that they will have a child. The same answer exactly was given to him by Jibreel, by giving to Zakaria when he said, how can I have a child? وَقَدْ بَلَغْتُ مِنَ الْعُمُرِ عِتِيًّا مِنَ الْكِبَرِ عِتِيًّا. I became too old. How I'll have a child? He said, that's what your Lord said. Maryam, when she said, I'm a single woman, how will I have never married, never had a man in my life, how would I have a child? The Quran said, كَذَلِكَ قَالَ رَبُّكَ. That's what your Lord said. And we say that you wear the hijab because that's what your Lord said. That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to you. And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered you to do. And by wearing hijab, you're obeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A lot of people think that women wear hijab in Islam to obey their husbands or because their husbands wants them to do that. That's not true. Women wear hijab because they are convinced that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked them to do, and that's the right thing for them to do. And I like that we as a Muslim train ourselves to submit to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A human being is not in a position to argue and to challenge and to see themselves in the same level of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But we should learn how to submit to Allah Azza wa Jal and to His orders, and that's one of them. Yes.
Okay, Sheikh. We'll try and keep the answers as quick as possible because we have a lot of questions coming in now. They're asking about breathable nail polish. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Yeah, for breathable nail polish, from what I've been hearing, there is different type, different kinds. Even if they say they are breathable, that the water can go through them. And this is, the nail polish here has two sides. One is for wearing nail polish in public, and the second one is wearing nail polish not necessarily to be in public, but the question mainly focuses on the wudu. Is my wudu valid? For the breathable ones, some of them are very, basically the water can go through them. And I have seen, even with my own eyes, some experiments where the water will go through them and will touch basically your nails. And if this is the case, will not be a preventable from you to make wudu and to wash your hand while you have them in your nails, in your fingers or in your toes. But the other issue is, I don't believe that women are supposed to show their nail polish in public, because they're supposed to cover their hands if they do so, because that's part of the tazayyun, of purifying herself. Umar radiallahu anhu saw a woman had decorated her hands, with henna. فقال لها اغسلي هذا عنك. Wash this. That's not allowed. Because it's what basically decorated her hand. And he ordered her, radiallahu anhu, to wash it off and not to have it like this in public. So this is something I don't encourage my sisters, and I know this is a sensitive issue for so many people, and people so attached to nail polish to the extent, I know a sister told me, I don't want to be muhajjaba just because I don't want to give up nail polish in public. So I said, for someone like this to be muhajjaba, even if you put your nail polish, but how attached she is to that concept of nail polish. I know it's very hard for some sisters to give it up, but give it up for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I do believe that is the right thing to do. Yes.
Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh. Another person's asking, how would the youth go about changing, I believe, the culture in masajid, with boards of so many masajid being very traditional, and maybe not as accessible, how do we make them more approachable for new youth to come inside? For youth that want to be involved in the masjid culture, but they feel as though the masjid is not accepting of young people.
Unfortunately, sometimes, see, whenever you deal with a case, there's things you have control over it, and there's things you don't have a control over it. So, for example, there are certain things in the masjid you will not be able to change. You're not going to be able to convince them. And I want to tell to everyone here involved in the masjid, youth do not need from the masjid a basketball court. And you think, oh, we did everything to the youth. You know, keep your basketball court for yourself. But you know what? Be friendly, be respectful, make us feel like partners. That's what the youth are really looking for. Give us opportunity to grow. Give opportunity, treat us like mature. Don't be mean to the kids. Don't be frowning at the kids. Don't hold them, you know, as if they are adult and you expect from them the same behavior of the adult. That's what they want more than the basketball court. That they want more than the gym, whatever you think you gonna basically provide for them, and that's all khalas. I did everything for the youth. So I can't really talk on behalf of the masajid, but that's an advice to the masajid to open up to the youth and to include the youth in their leadership and to bring someone who will be in charge of the youth activity. But let's see, you as a youth didn't find that opportunity in your masjid. That's something I'll talk about in the next session, my lecture. I'll talk about this, but I want to tell you something. The masjid is for you to go to pray also. So this is the least, ya akhi. It doesn't matter, even if the most unfriendly people in the world. Go pray. You pray for Allah and do your activity with the youth outside. But don't ever abandon the masjid. Don't ever leave the masjid. You go pray in the masjid and you do all your activity with your friend outside if you want. But the masajid is for salah, and it has to be something that you honor, you respect, you hold into it. You don't give it up for any human being. And inshallah, as I've been seeing for the last 10 years, more and more masajid understood the importance of being friendly, and more new masajid coming into town and became more friendly to the youth and recognize the importance of accommodating the youth.
And just as an anecdote, I actually visited your masjid, Sheikh, and I was quite impressed with it. Your masjid, I think, is one of the coolest masajid I've ever visited. You have like an actual, you know, like in McDonald's, they have that big play place with the ball pit and all, like the jungle gym. He actually has that in his masjid. So as an adult, I didn't want to leave, Sheikh. Never mind the kids. I can only imagine what it's like bringing the kids there and trying to force them to go home after the end of the night. But I think that's creating a space where people also feel comfortable is very important, inshallah. But we'll continue on. People have a very interesting question here. I believe one person has asked, I have children who have left Islam. Some of them are under 18. To what extent should I support or withdraw support from them in terms of paying for cars, tuition, money, etc.?
I want to say that sometimes we come and cry and scream and looking for answers and solutions and cure too late. Sometimes we are paying for the things that we have done in the past. So sometimes parents come to me and tell me, my son this and this and that. Yes, but for the last 20 years, you didn't really care about your son. You cared about your business. For the last 20 years, you've been so busy. You never spent time with your family. You never brought your children to the masjid. You never make them part of a Muslim community. You didn't invest in them and invest in their deen. And we're not trying to blame this person who asked the question. No, ma'adallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide them for you, or guide your children and all our children and protect all of us. But my point, this is a good message to those among us who still have young kids to invest early on them. Spend more time with them. That's number one. Number two, I would like to say that for your kids, even though they left Islam, but they're still your children. What connect our children is not only the religion. Religion is one aspect, but also there's other things connect us to each other. You know, a lot of other things that connect us to each other, being human being. But here there is a blood relation and it will never be changed. It doesn't matter. He became atheist, he became Christian, he became, my mother is my mother, my father is my father. It doesn't mean, it doesn't care, it doesn't matter what religion they are. It doesn't matter what my son or daughter religion become. You know, he's still my son and still I care for him and I still pray for him and I still support him and still I'm in charge of him legally and Islamically. I'm responsible for him. So it doesn't really matter in this case. I advise you to help and to continue to support and to show love and compassion, because hopefully that will give an opportunity for you and him to have a conversation maybe about Islam. And one thing I want to say also, if you have a son or a daughter like this, left Islam or doing a major sin, can you please don't transfer all the conversation in the house or every time you talk to your son or daughter is about the religion. It's about this sin. It's about this problem. Like for example, you have a daughter left and she doesn't wear hijab anymore. Some people, khalas, all the talk is about the hijab. Khalas, she didn't wear hijab. That's what she decided to do. It doesn't mean that there is nothing else between us. You losing your kids this way more. You know, there is a time to talk about it, but also, and don't ignore it, but also there's other area you can talk about. Other area you can invest in. I hope this is kind of help. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you, because it's a tough situation.
We have another question here about, okay, it's kind of shifting a bit. Why is interest, riba, haram? Is buying a house or car with interest considered riba?
Riba have a different forms in Sharia. So it is something defined in Islam. And one of the most clear form of riba, usury, it's called riba nasi'ah, which is basically the interest that's based on loan. So I take from you money and you return back to me the money after a while with interest, with extra money. That form is something that agreed upon between the scholars that it is considered haram and forbidden. So there is a consensus among the scholars about this specific form of riba. So here when you go buy a house, the issue is not immersion versus money. So let's say if I have a house and I give you the house and I charge you, I said this house cash for $100,000. If you finance it over 10 years, it's going to be 120. But this is my house, I'm selling it to you. That's Islamically correct, because it's a merchant. It's not a currency. It's not just a money. Okay? It's an asset. And this is halal. But the case with mortgage company, they don't own the house. What they do, they give you a loan. They didn't give it to you in your hand, they transfer the money on your behalf to that basically company. So they give them the $300,000 and it became a debt on you, and you accumulate interest over that. If the mortgage company own the house, then they sell it to you, that's a different story. We'll say halal. That's why when bank, took over a house and they sell the house, even with what they call it in modern days interest, we allowed this form because basically the bank owned the house in this case. But that's very rare cases, But usually what happened, they don't own the house. The title will be in your name. It will be in your name. And you just take a loan and you pay interest over the loan. And that format is not allowed in Islam. Some scholars made exceptions. In cases like what? In cases like necessities. Let's say somebody told me, Sheikh, I am living a big family and we don't have an apartment. I don't have where to go. I have to get a house. And I don't have even enough money to pay rent, because sometimes your mortgage is less than the rent. In a case like this, we allowed, because there's no other options. Or some other scholars looked at the situation of Muslim who lives in a non-Muslim country, and they made an exception for them, like Sheikh Yusuf al-Qaradawi, Sheikh bin Jibreel, and others as well. And they became more lenient when it comes to the house that you are going to live in, even if you take a mortgage for it. The majority of the ulama don't agree with that, basically, opinion, but I do believe that is an opinion which is respected, and I will never say to someone, choose that opinion that you are sinner or cursed by Allah or all this kind of talk. I will never say something like that, because that's an opinion that great scholars in modern days and in the past would approve. But that's not something I will encourage you to do, because this is what we call it in fiqh, al-khilaf al-khatir, the dangerous khilaf, where one faqih tell you it is allowed and the other one tell you it is one of the major sin. It's not somebody tell you it is allowed and then makruh or it's not very good. No, it is kabir. That's a dangerous khilaf, where you go to the opposite spectrums. So the person should be very careful on things like this, unless he really needs to be involved in that. When it comes to the cars, I have a trick for you. Not a trick, it's a solution for you, which is a lot of big companies, they have house finance. So for example, if you go to Lexus, no, don't buy Lexus. I don't like you guys to drive a car has a loser signs on it. Anyway, let's say you guy goes to Honda, okay. Sorry for those who drive Lexus, I feel bad for you. But I don't mean an insult. Anyway, so Honda, they might have finance on house. So they own the car, and they will tell you, if you buy this over 30 months or 50 months, 5 years, whatever, it will be with that amount of money. If you pay cash now, that's amount of money. That's allowed, as long as they own the car and they're selling it to you. Okay, what is not allowed is to bring a third party to finance it for you, a bank or a mortgage company, stuff like that. Because this third party will not own the car. So this can be a solution. Also, there is another solution in some companies. They give you zero interest, but some of them, they don't give you zero interest. But what you can do, something it's called, you buy the interest out. What's that means? You come to the finance department, and I just did that for my family, and I said, hey, so how much is this? They said, okay, this is how much it is. There is 2%, your interest rate. I said, the interest rate 2% over 5 years, how much is it? They said, it's $5,000. And I said, okay, how about if we make this deal? You sell me the car for 35 instead of 30. Just put that 5% your profit on the top of the total, and we rewrite the deal as it's 35. And some of them agree, some of them they don't. So if they agree to do that, they tell you it's not good for you. What if the interest rate goes down, tax purpose? I said, I don't care. I just want to be at halal. And they agree with that, you can do that. It's called the buy the interest out. And that some company, they agree to do that and offer you that.
Jazakumullah khairan, Sheikh. We have a few more questions, but I also realize we are short on time. This, by the way, facilitation right now is one of the kind of newer initiatives in the past year or so that AlMaghrib Institute has been trying to facilitate, which is answering the tricky questions that Muslims do have. There are many people who perhaps live in smaller communities who don't even have access to a local imam, and they may have questions, they may not know where to turn to. So AlMaghrib, being an authority in this field, has decided to provide a solution. It's called Faith IQ. For those of you who've been keeping up with it, we've released a video every single day of the year for the past 400 days, from what I understand. So that means 400 plus videos have been produced, and each one of these videos is under 3 minutes long. So questions that are commonly asked that people don't necessarily have the resources to research on their own, we ask qualified people in these fields to answer them. And alhamdulillah, AlMaghrib Institute has been facilitating this for the community, the English-speaking ummah at large. I want to play this quick video, inshallah, just to give you kind of more insight into this program, how amazing it is and how beneficial it has been. And then our dear brother, my partner in rhyme, inshallah, is going to give us some more insight into why this is such a great thing to support.
So, you have a question about Islam. Who do you ask? Every day for the last year, AlMaghrib Institute began answering your questions in quick, straight to the point videos. One video answer a day, every day. In just 1 year, we produced a video a day answering difficult questions with over 2 million viewers from around the world. Our website is regularly browsed by over 15,000 people per month. Because we answer questions you submit, the content is relevant to your needs, covering a broad range of topics from worship, disability, marriage, and deeper purpose of life type of questions. Alhamdulillah, we've been able to keep this project 100% free, sending you video answers every day to your inbox or WhatsApp. The library continues to grow every day, and in order to continue meeting this very important need, we need your help. In the next year, the plan is to put together a dedicated team so that we can answer your questions faster, and also add a dedicated research staff to get you the most accurate answers. We get hundreds of questions, and we would like to address them all and continue to benefit the English-speaking Muslim living around the world. Click on the link and support Faith IQ today.
طيب السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. So for those of you who are aware with regards to the Faith IQ program, Faith IQ over the past year was basically a dream of AlMaghrib Institute to be able to really launch in a strong way a presence online, because that's where people go when they have questions. The first thing they do is they go onto Google, and whoever they find, that's who they take to be their qualified person to answer them. And so what we're trying to do as AlMaghrib is to be able to move to where the people are and going online and making sure that we have people who are qualified like Sheikh Waleed Basyouni to answer, and other AlMaghrib instructors and specialists who we trust to answer the most pressing questions that people have online. And the way that it is answered is videos under 3 minutes and with graphics and a lot of design and a lot of quality. And alhamdulillah, over the past year, 400 videos have been released. Every day a video has been released, and the response has been tremendous. Over 2 million views on our videos on over 400 different topics over the past year. And inshallah ta'ala, we hope to continue to grow this project, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best, but the goal is that it become the #1 platform for question and answers in English throughout the world. And so this is something that we believe is very, very possible. And I would encourage you, if we could just put the link on the screen, the Faith IQ link. I would encourage everybody to contribute ilmfest.com/faithiq. That's the link, ilmfest.com/faithiq, where you'd be able to contribute. And the question that people have and that I want to answer for you is, what's the cost of producing one video? And the cost of producing one video is $100. And so we have a goal for tonight, a very modest goal, but inshallah ta'ala we'll be able to knock it out very quickly, is to have 20 videos sponsored tonight, inshallah ta'ala. And so there's the link. Let's do this. Assalamu alaikum, guys. Y'all still with me? Okay, so really quickly, inshallah ta'ala, if I could actually just see a show of hands of people who can sponsor one video tonight, and then we'll go on, inshallah ta'ala, to our next session. So who can sponsor a video for us, inshallah ta'ala, Faith IQ, answering questions, pressing questions about Islam. Just one video for $100. #1, takbir. #2, who is our third, inshallah ta'ala, for $100? We have #3. #4, our fourth, inshallah ta'ala. Who is our fourth? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you all. #4, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. #5, let's end with #5, inshallah ta'ala, our last person for $100. And I want you to go onto the website. We have 5 and 6 from Buna and Sheikh Waleed. So we have #7. So then let's, #8, mashallah, tabarakallah. I was going to end at 5, but now you guys are making me want to end at 10. #9 and #10. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept from you all. And I would encourage everybody to just go online, go onto this link, and contribute whatever you can. Whether you can contribute a lot or whether you can contribute a little, even if it's $1. Make sure that you contribute, because I really expect that this project, inshallah, is going to change the face of how people ask and have their questions answered. And so for us to be able to participate in any project at the beginning is something that is very fortunate for us indeed. Jazakumullah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.